So, remembering the crocodile, someone if you like W.I.P put in the base, which we don't know. Remember what for because it was so fucking long ago. Like what else is up? So you guys went to an international tournament where your new characters, Pyre and Kenneth, were introduced. Who were in the tournament. Original Super Parole didn't make it to the tournament, but we kept following Kenneth and Pyre. You both made it to the finals, and actually Pyre won because of you guys won Kenneth not being very effective against robots, and Dr. Nano, who was also entered in the tournament, not really focused on scoring points, giving enough for Pyre to win. While you guys left the final match, there was a big invasion of these black covered people, entities, humanoids, which look similar to.
You have to say, look strikingly like my
with some
brothers.
small like differences, mainly like the mask, but there's also probably some differences, and like you have more of this long ears and a tail. It did have a tail, but maybe like a different kind of style in tail, maybe more spiky and stuff, more horns than ears. Yeah, and so a big fight broke out. You guys winning. Well, you capturing some of them. But the main thing there was that there was one of them was stalking, smarter, stronger than the others, and he changed Captain Titan. He infected Captain Titan, and Captain Titan flew off with him. Later he fell off because Captain Titan was just too strong and too fast, and he couldn't hold on. But you don't know where Captain Titan is. Just remember, Captain Titan is like the most powerful hero in this world, so it's very important that people want to know like what the fuck is happening to Captain Titan. You guys captured like 8 of them, splitting them on multiple bases. So 2 went to Gaia's Guardians, maybe 3 to Gaia's Guardians if I remember. 3 to Gaia's Guardians, 3 to Paris, where Midas is, and 2 went with you. But you also, before you left, you guys got the smart one. And that was like last session. You guys interviewed the smart one. Let me see what you guys know about the smart one. Well, he mentions that he has been. His name was like Megaton. He was the former. He was wounded by by Shadowhawk. So he wanted revenge on Shadowhawk, not knowing he has left, but he was also infected voluntarily with he calls his slime his source. He calls it Scout. He was sent as a Scout, and basically the others were his children with another higher upper. So there's like 2 of them. They made like there's a difference between the small infections and the one they put on Captain Titan, which is a bigger source like them, so you can also have smaller ones. But yeah, you figured out they're from a different dimension where they basically took over a whole universe and they're searching for more humanoid bodies. That's why they're trying to get to this universe. Am I forgetting anything? Well, yeah, Kenneth is here now in the base. Dr. Nano joined the base. Pyre joined the base. Unfortunately, since last time, because I don't think we played since Fairy left. So for Fairy, Dr. Nano will join Midas in Paris, and Slime will probably be sent with Manga Mania to like a starting up hero school. But they're not gonna send. We'll get into that later. Where let's go into like your guys a bit. So Kenneth, we know he's here. His teacher has been disappeared after the attack. He was hurt. Ice Cube. So that's why he now is in Super Parole. Pyre. Lots of recap. Let's go get faster next time. Pyre, he just joined up. As is a safe place to hone your skills. Then we get to W.I.P. W.I.P is basically torturing I'm gonna call him scouts for now, mentally.
Yep.
For like
just by non-stop being with them.
Yep. But you ask Madame Bouchard to greenlight something you wanted to do, and she said no. You ask her like greenlight what I want to do. Like I think you wanted to torture him even more.
I wanted to study the person. Like full-fledged, like, because he's technically human, quote-unquote, so I wouldn't be able to study him fully, so we could figure out everything about his species.
It was like, I'm gonna chop off an arm and see what happened, throw acid on him, like, was it that kind of...
No, that was just to mess with him.
Oh, okay, so it's not...
No, what I was going to do was straight up just experiments on him to figure out what he is, and like, oh, hey, it turns out this entity's a disease, and I can cure it with such and such, you know?
It's like the way you described it to her was like, I just want to fucking murder him and use his dead body to find shit out. Like, the way you were asking her, and like you were going too far, it's like, no? So maybe if you come back to her...
I mean, technically that would have been the case, just because what I needed to do.
Then we have another interesting point, which is Entropy. Entropy was at his big order when it got attacked as well. There was and you escaped with your brother. You guys escaped to Cairo, to the pyramids of Gizeh. For now, and you guys have, at the moment, have no idea what to do. You don't know who to trust or who to keep safe. You guys are afraid that they maybe blame it on you guys, or one of you guys, seeing that you been a betrayer before, or had plans to betray. But also of notice, for your arc, W.I.P sent a message, and also there was a new element born, or like appeared, like just before this moment happened.
Right. I was also told by my brother, if I remember correctly, that I shouldn't actually speak to the others, just because they may be...
He allowed it only if you're surely to trust them and stuff.
Right. And I wasn't 100% sure if I could trust W.I.P because of what I know about him.
Well, I think like W.I.P is the one you like. It's up to you, but I think W.I.P is the safest one to trust here, since like the others you can put in danger by contacting them. But since W.I.P is basically everywhere, it's like try to blow up W.I.P. Go ahead.
Oh, that's right. I was no. I remember the reason.
Yeah, it was more.
It was because I wasn't sure if I could trust everyone else, not that I couldn't trust W.I.P. That's right.
Yeah.
Because W.I.P is actually, of the people that I know in Super Parole, he's the one I trust the most.
Like W.I.P is a shitty
and nobody else does.
But he never really lied to anyone, he just admit all his shitty stuff.
Well, no, it's just W.I.P and my character, W.I.P and Entropy, honestly, are very much, like, friends, so he doesn't actually see W.I.P as malevolent as a lot of other people do.
So maybe let's go to that scene, like, first. It's like you reading the message you got from, he sent you a voicemail, basically with what would happen, that they were attacked, with us describing what was similar to what you saw, that they captured one, that there's other people in the base. What the hell was that sound?
Jim probably stretching.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Nothing good.
I didn't hear any noise. Wait, was it this?
A little bit. Maybe.
Okay, that's me sliding my headset off so you don't hear all the noises as much instead of just straight up muting my mic.
It's fine. Don't worry about it too much.
And so you're getting this message and your brother hears it, and it's like, so we're not the only ones who got attacked. We should check the news if there's any if there have been any other attacks. So currently are in a.
I was about to say, like, where are we exactly? I can't remember.
Yeah, you guys went to a safe space in Egypt. You just walked the rest. You probably just went to an empty building you guys found and just poofed in. Let's say it's like it's night and you're in an office building that's being like, so nobody's working currently there. There's no security. Like, your brother probably shut down the security cameras.
Right. So those are like a TV or anything like that in this place that we might be able to watch the news, actually?
Yeah, that's like I said, it's an office building, so there are TVs, there are computers around.
Okay.
I think your brother would have picked like just a meeting room, like with a big table, big TV screen.
Yeah.
Something for him to be drawing and sketching all the facts.
As usual, my brother is much more reliable than I am. As I would have taken us to a very empty just warehouse that had nothing in it.
No, you would have taken it to an empty warehouse that says definitely not a hideout, no girls allowed.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. But my character will just pull out a remote that he obviously just removes from his pocket. No, like, he didn't pick this up earlier. He just has it, obviously.
It says, like, universal remote on it.
Yeah, universal remote has a couple of, like, pieces of metal coming out of it that obviously aren't supposed to be in it. A couple of wires hanging out. And he presses one of the buttons and the TV turns on. Specifically to a news channel, funny enough.
Yeah, it's probably like the 24/7 news channel.
Would there be a news channel in Egypt? I don't even know if I don't know what kind of.
At this point, you would probably have like international TV, so there's probably.
That's true.
Egypt right now isn't some like third world country where they're like, oh booga, go booga.
No, I'm not saying that, Jib. I'm saying I don't know what kind of like programs they would have.
Just so you know, Jib, we also don't have 24/7 news channels here. Like, we do have got like the text format and the internet, but we don't have like the CNN 24/7 news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then again, a lot of actually I shouldn't say that. CNN is a great thing. Jokes aside. Anyway.
So
yes.
You look it up.
Yes.
Like, at this point, it's probably like a smart TV showing like the latest news, and you can just pick like a website showing mainly the news, the attack on the tournament.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
There's some multiple coverages showing like where, like, one of the things quoted is like, "Where's what happened to Captain Titan? What happened with Ice Cube after getting to the hospital? Is he dead or hurt? Where are all the contestants? Where are they?"
I would imagine, actually, if I may add a little bit, there may be a few different news places that actually connect the fact that Kenneth and these new monsters look very similar and are making probably speculations that maybe this is a plot by him or something like that, or maybe he might be involved.
Especially like Manny Tough, the newscaster who's been bothering Kenny.
Yeah.
He's all over this shit, yeah.
Like, again, I imagine that's just something that my character would see being on the news.
Yeah, but there's also probably, at this point, there's also, like, probably Gaia's Guardians, like, one of Gaia's Guardians going out in the public and saying, this is what we know, we can confirm that, like, we trust Kenneth here, that he is not, like, that your being that's on you that you may have the same affliction, but it doesn't mean that Kenneth Peterson is related in any way. Like,
maybe they would say something along the lines of like, Kenneth is currently working with authorities to attempt to figure out what's going on, or something like that.
And they're probably gonna be like really honest about it, and like their target actually was Shadowhawk. Currently is in what's his name, in somewhere in Africa after his humiliating act, after his disgrace at the tournament.
Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking that's probably what they would do. So it's just yeah.
Like, there was a thing like from them like pretty much lying until the war started with heroes, and they tried to keep away from that, like keeping lies and secrets. Right. They want to be, because they want people to trust them, so they're very open about this stuff. So that probably also mentioned that that actually the one behind the attack is Megaton, who was presumed dead. That they probably at this point they did DNA tests on the others because they couldn't remove the mask, but they could remove the rest of the skin. They figured out most of those people had cyborg parts, which were illegal cyborg parts, but the DNA matched with missing persons from over the last 4 months, give or take. Maybe 4 months. Like how long did I guys give you? Yeah, it would be like 2 months, 2-3 months.
Okay. Let me see.
So yeah, you get a message from Rip explaining this. Your brother's also watching this and reacting to this, and it's like, okay, this could help us Entropy. They might not think as traders, but there's still a thing of the high elements fleeting the sea. So we don't know who to trust, and I don't know if I told you this, but sometimes our powers do things that we actually don't know that it's doing it. So this could be either my order power or your entropy power creating this. So we still might be responsible.
With that, my character will look around for a second and say, well, that's definitely not good. They're probably going to end up blaming me for that then. I mean, I didn't do anything. I don't think. My character will actually look and basically look around again as if he's expecting them to start popping out of him or something like that. Dude, you don't think I'm responsible for this, right?
I don't think you want it to be you. Same for me. It could be me. It could be some weird order kind of structure, you know. To be honest, I don't think. Why would you attack the tournament as well? Why would that happen? It seems too structured for you, Entropy. It's more my doing than yours, I think. But I don't hope.
I don't think it would be you either. You don't. Sorry to say this, brother. You never seem like the kind of person to do something like that.
Well, again, it could be something different than me. It could just be my powers trying to create some balance. By the way, could you pick that up? That ringing is driving me crazy. You'll hear and you hear some. It's not a what's it called? The phone, the vibrating of what you presume to be a phone.
I will first check my phone. Is it my phone going off?
It's not your phone, and your brother sees it as well. It's like, wait, it's not your phone? Well, it's not even a phone with you, right? It's more like a small being or a...
Probably mine would be the, I imagine it actually... I was about to say, I imagine it changes shape depending on my mood. So at first it was a banana. Now I imagine it probably would be a slice of pizza.
And that's why W.I.P also can't fucking trace the shit out of it, because it's not actually a technological thing.
Yeah, it's absolutely 100% probably doesn't even have circuits, unless the pepperonis are circuits. Yeah. The pepperonis might be circuits.
So your brother's
no, they're the DVD players.
So he starts going through his stuff, and he picks this.
He pulls out his 7 different phones.
No, he doesn't have.
But I imagine he has.
He doesn't really have a need for. Well, he does work in the real world, but I don't think he doesn't wear a phone when going to element business, because nobody really can call him at that point. He doesn't want to be disturbed. He takes out this rock with all kinds of runes on it, and it's just vibrating. It's like, oh, I forgot I had this. And he puts it on the ground. It's like a light shows up, and a sort of spirity ghost comes out. We've seen this. Well, you guys haven't seen this guy before, but in the overall story. We see. I always imagine him more of the dwarf from Game of Thrones, the actor.
Oh yeah. Oh, what's his name? I never remember his name. Damn.
Yeah, something like that. Wait, do a quick Google.
Bloody hell! I normally like. Well, I don't actually watch Game of Thrones. I do like. I actually quite like that guy. He's actually really funny.
Peter Dinklage. That's
Yeah.
yeah. So that goes off. He comes out, and we know this guy to be Leopold Tebros. He was actually captured by, randomly captured by Morty. What was her name? Dead Rose, Mort Rose. What was the name of the PC of like a million sessions? Let me quickly check.
PC of the what?
Yeah, the Rosa de Muerte. That was her name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Roque,
she captured
yeah.
him in the cafe, like in session 3. She captured this guy. Just slayed him.
Oh yeah. I remember that guy.
Let me see. Can you roll some kind of intelligence check? Entropy.
Maybe. Depends if I'm
Do you
intelligent.
have some information relating to this guy? I just want to know if entropy.
Let's see. Intelligence, expertise, probably not. Technology treatment, no, probably not. Investigation, maybe investigation?
Yeah, roll investigation.
I don't really have many points in it, but I'll go for it. Hey, decent roll.
Yeah, so he mentions his name when he like your brother probably gives your name is like Entropy, Leopold. He calls his back name, and the last name does ring a bell, but you can't correctly place it right now. But you have heard
Okay.
the name outside of like Rosa de Muerte. You have met someone with the name, but you currently can't remember.
Okay.
Because it's probably none of your notes.
Yeah, it probably isn't. To be fair, I'm not even gonna lie, it probably very much is not.
He's like, wait, he's like, where are we? Shouldn't we be in court? I should be, making my case about... Is this... I expected a more like grandiose, more magnificent place to do this than a office. Well, I looks at you two guys.
Oh, I know this guy. Pardon my French, but you died, right?
As you can see in the Legacy room, yes, but my soul, like as you know, that the death order collects the souls and they go to the afterlife. But since I was killed before my time, I was trying to defend myself in a court sort of way to see what was able to solve,
Right. Well, that really sucks, honestly. Sorry about all that happening. If I had known about it, I would have done. I didn't really know Rosa was like that.
It's like, Rosa?
My character will just sort of give like a sort of hand waving of sorta,
Knew her like 2 days.
I met her, spoke with her a little bit, but never really got to know her.
Cute girl, that one. Glad she's dead. Gone. So, this like look at the brothers like I'm sorry, Leo, but something has come between the session and we were attacked. And he's like, wait, what? We were attacked, but how? By whom?
By inky black thingies that we honestly don't know much about.
Like,
if I had to guess, I wouldn't think they were demons. Are there even demons? My character will actually ask Order. Like, is that something Death does, or
he's like,
are there demons?
Or it's like, yeah, there are demons, but we're not the reason they're there.
Ah.
Maybe at the beginning, some power, like maybe like long ago, but we're not currently. Like, not to the point. Like he would probably mention. Let me quickly check where slime came from. He would probably Leopold will probably mention, oh yeah, Explore Innovations. It's like one of their projects because they make living slime creatures and stuff.
Living slime creatures.
Well, yeah,
Well, that
Slime and
sounds
Slime
like
Soldier was there, and there were
I
other.
don't think my character ever met Slime, although I did meet Slime Soldier.
You met Slime. You've met.
Oh,
Slime.
then that's right. I've met Slime. Never mind. What am I saying? I'm sorry. Jeez, can't believe it. I forgot Slime. Anyway. But yes, alright, yeah.
You guys explain, it's probably not. So, like your brother goes, Leopold, I don't know exactly what to do with you now, because, you know, we're kind of in disarray, checking stuff out. He's like, well, maybe I can help. I was one of the world's smartest people. I had lots of, like he states that I had a lot of connections. I'm very skewed with psychological treatment, some technology. I might be able to help you guys even in this capacity.
I'll actually say real quick, like, just like stating a thought, like, you know, you did say that we need people to trust, and he is sort of. My character will look at his little stone thing again. He is sort of probably a really easy to trust, considering I don't think he can even talk to other people.
It's like your brother reacts, and maybe true, maybe true.
I don't know. What do you think? I certainly think he might be trustworthy.
In that case, you hold on to him and he gives you the rock in your hand.
Oh. Cool. I've always wanted a pet rock.
Great.
What, you've never heard of the pet rocks?
Yes, I have heard, but it was like very quick that you came to that. Or it was like real fast. It goes on. So, Leopold goes like, so, what's the plan? Like, if I understand you guys correctly, there was an attack. Like, at this point, like, you guys have been talking a bit and he's just taking everything in on the TV while this conversation is happening. And it's like, okay, if I looked at the TV, so there's been 2 attacks. One at a tournament, and one at you guys specifically. That means,
yes.
If I understand correctly, either there is a leak in your guys' system, or there has been, how would you say that? A mole of some kind?
Oh, that's not good. If one of the elements has been, you know, against us, that'll mean probably civil war. I hope not.
Yes.
What do you think, brother?
Well, as you know, you have once tried to betray the elements, like the head elements. And I don't give you, like, spite. I'm not mad at you for doing that, because I do feel we can be as strong as them, and they are holding some of us back by not letting us in.
I don't even remember it, to be honest. I've got vague memories of stuff, but I don't really remember much. I am sorry about all that, though.
So, I think we at least, there's something I need to check. I don't know, maybe, is there someone you trust which you should share information with? Maybe this W.I.P or...
My character will sit there for a second, thinking about who would probably be the best person to share information with, and
like
after a second or two, what? Yeah.
I'll just go through a quick list of the guys you know, just so you're aware. You basically know everyone at the base, which is Mikusha, Josh, Slime, the dogs. You probably know the crocodile, you know W.I.P.
I probably know the crocodile. Yeah,
you have your elephant.
Yeah.
Just to mention, you have Entropy's, what is Entropy's pancakes and chicken or something?
Yeah, Entropy's the name changes every week.
Yeah. So you know the owner there, which used to be a nice restaurant, and you know his daughter. Especially you know the person that you actually wounded before, and then you guys have kind of talked it out when you crushed his arm or his leg, if I can remember.
Man, yeah, that happened. I forgot that happened.
You know Dave the guard soldier, or David the guard soldier, and you know the guy in Africa and his son, and the starting flogging sorcerer who you also sent there and gave some magic, entropy magic. That's basically most
actually, that does give me an idea because that guy was very much seemed like a guy to be trusted. The guy that we the ambassador guy.
The diplomat, yeah.
He seemed like a very he was part of a nation of magic users. And while I won't say that I trust this person fully, I say well, there is this I will actually explain to my brother this man who is very much a very powerful magic user who might be very useful to us, but I'm not 100% sure if we can trust him. But he did seem very trustworthy while I was escorting him.
Okay, yeah,
he might be a good ally.
Your brother knows a bit about this guy because he's a very what's the word? He's not an architect, but he's an what's Indiana Jones again? He's a goddammit.
Archaeologist.
Archaeologist, thank you.
Yeah.
He's a very famous archaeologist. Your brother is a high archaeologist, and he knows some high. They maybe be at a same party, but they never really met. But he also know from your mission, so he has amazing information about this guy.
Yeah, my character will mention though, of how he had someone actually in the Super Bowl trying to attack him, basically, and stuff like that, and how he defended him, so he would be a good ally both in combat and with connections.
Yep. So if he's, you could try it out too.
Mm-hmm. I would also mention to my brother about how Miss Bouchard has been still one of the more straightforward people, and most likely would be very much involved in this investigation. She may be able to tell us a lot. Even if we don't trust her fully, we could still learn something by talking to her.
Is that how Entropy feels about her? Because she's being very, you have very too little information about her history.
My character, yeah, I'm basing it on my character knowing that she's very strict and very, she takes her job very seriously. So I highly doubt she would do something to, My character is basing it off the fact that she's exceedingly strict and has actually reined me in and my shenanigans oftentimes. So he actually does trust her. He just doesn't appreciate when she ruins his fun.
Sure. Yeah. Your brother's okay, I gotta check out if something's still in place. And if so, that's good. If it's not, then it's something we should discuss and maybe share with others. If you head either to Miss Bouchard or to the diplomat. I'm just gonna check his name real quick. Adelhart. Yeah, Adelhart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go to the base. Quick wipe. So W.I.P has been torturing this guy for a long time. At some point, you kind of notice that it's there's actually no reaction on this guy anymore after all from things you're saying. It just completely zones you out. It's like he went to sleep, but you can't see it on the mask.
I mean, he wouldn't stop to the point where he's just recording everything he says and does in that hologram and put it on loop and just left.
So now, W.I.P just basically got bored of torturing the guy, so now he's just done it automatically. He's just literally automated it so he doesn't have to be there.
I mean, of course it's being recorded, but,
I can see you doing that, yeah.
Yeah. It's to the point where even W.I.P's getting bored of him.
Yeah.
He's no longer a fun toy.
and this is probably the point where Kenneth and Pyre they're waking up for the morning. You guys have like you still like you wake up with a strange feeling from like, where am I? This is the first time you wake up here in these rooms which are still pretty empty. You're still, when you open your door, you're not really used to where everything is, so maybe you have to like look for the kitchen. It's not like, oh, there's the kitchen, or there's
Getting horrifically lost as per usual.
Yeah. Like after, like at some point, like in the morning, maybe after or before breakfast, Miss Bashar calls in Pyre to her office.
Pyre would go.
Okay, so yeah. Do you open a door or knock on the door? What's your way of entering?
I would probably be locked. Later. I mean, she would probably be lost for a good while, and then when she eventually finds it, she would knock on the door.
Unless W.I.P helps, of course.
If he was given the permissions to take control of the facility again, then yes, he would, because that's his job.
You wouldn't. You still would be on a punishment, but you can like go left and go right if you want. That's still like you still have like cameras and stuff. It's just not.
All right. Well, now she would be even more lost.
Of course, W.I.P would do that to her.
Yeah, at some point maybe she sees Gideon
and at this point she's just tired of the bullshit and just ignoring him.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe she sees Gideon the dog walking around and he shows it away. So you knock on the door and Miss Bishop's like, "Come in."
It's been 3 hours. Where were you?
She's like, I know W.I.P sex. She knows W.I.P. She doesn't need to ask. Like, if it was Entropy, there was probably some alarm from Entropy is back, Entropy is not back, so it's probably W.I.P. So yeah, she lets you in. It's like, have a seat, Pyre.
She would take a seat where she was told to sit.
So, I've got some videos sent by Gaia's Guardians. They did some scans on you after the tournament, and they found this, and she shows something on the screen, which is next to her. And this is like this city on fire. Because if I remember correctly, when you were a child, you set a city on fire.
When she was born, the hospital was set into a ball of flame.
Okay, yeah, so she's showing.
And if there was any other incidents, you can probably assume that probably a Phoenix came out at some point.
Like the hospital, maybe at some point you came close to a school, some point a police department, some shops where you got food. So she shows these pictures and like these are linked to you. Are they not?
She would hesitantly nod.
That's okay. As I see, you are a 12, 13-year-old girl?
I have it written down, but it's been so long I don't remember offhand.
Yeah,
Let me
but
check.
Again, like, why would your character know, right?
13.
Yeah, again, but your character would say... Would your character know she's 13 is my question.
She probably wouldn't count. She probably wouldn't count.
You check the date for the hospital, maybe, like at some point, knowing like, oh, that was me, and yeah, maybe.
I imagine you'd know how old you are.
A relative age,
Well,
a relative age. But I mean, there's nobody to celebrate a birthday and say happy birthday.
That doesn't mean you don't know your birth. Like,
yeah, but he probably burned like when he,
I
at
probably
the age of
saw
memories.
it somewhere.
Like he probably kills the person taking care of him like every year.
At the point maybe
he knows things. Like the first 3 have already been dead. Like
yeah,
I guess.
She's like.
I mean, do what you want, man. I ain't gonna say.
I'm gonna say she would, but I mean, it's not that.
She said return. So, if I look at those years, you were very young. You're still are. We understand that you don't know how to control. It's for just us a mystery that we did not find you earlier to help you. To be honest, if they had found you 13 years ago, they would probably have negated your powers in some way without you even knowing that you ever had them. That's what they used to do. We're trying a different approach with some of these students. That's why I'm sending my sister to this new school. For you, I try to get you in, but first, your high capability of power is already shown in the tournament, and your history. We think it's best that we keep you here under our vision, under our care. But we still will make sure you get an education.
See, the moment you said that, me as a person, IRL, I'm internally screaming. I'd hate that. But,
It's not like I'm gonna roleplay like classes and be the teacher.
I know, I understand that. It's just that, like, you're giving me PTSD.
It's a turkey bullshit. Like, that's probably where you wanted to go with this character. Getting some fucking education. Again, it's like far in the future, and you're probably going to get E classes. It's not.
She's just gonna real quick just take a look at her hands, and a small little flame is on one of her fingers, and she just looks at Mr. Sean like, will they really accept this? I can't even put out fire. I just make them. I don't know how to stop things from burning. I just burn.
So that's why we would accept you. You've met W.I.P. He doesn't have an off button as well. You have not.
I'm sorry. Go on.
And believe me, you still need to meet Entropy, and man, that guy's a hand. We had worse cases. Just to mention a few in advance is a wizard. What's his name again? He had like a fucking awful name. No, just kidding. Do you remember the wizard guy? What his name was? Like, it started with an M, I think.
Wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Magnus. Yeah, we have Magnus. We had this guy called Glitch in a soup. Like, and she maybe shows him the recording, and like, those guys would actually kill on purpose, destroy things, had no respect. They tried to harm as many people as possible. That's not what you're trying. I can see that. You're doing the opposite. I'm trying to harm as few people as possible. Preferably none.
I mean, every time I've harmed somebody, it was either just out of they've done something that makes me mad, and it just happens. And I don't intend for it to be like that.
There have been other heroes who struggled. Even if I remember correctly, Captain Sytem, when she was young, still had lots of trouble controlling her power, her strength. Like, even a sneeze of her could possibly kill a person if not controlled correctly.
And is she able to stop herself from burning down an entire city?
Well, she is now. Well, before the attack at least. And again, I'll make Josh make some adjustments to the drones to at least have some fire extinguishing equipment on them. He will look into them, as well as Gaia Guardians. There's full trust in that we can at least take care of what you need.
I'm just saying, you've given me a horrible idea as W.I.P.
You're gonna use the fire extinguisher for fun everywhere.
Oh yes, and I get play the excuse of, oh, there was a fire, and they can't disable me from using the fire extinguishers in case there actually is an emergency. I'm a terrible person.
Yes, but they have not been built yet.
Exactly. That's the only downside. But in all seriousness, what about when she would go to one of the pictures and there would be one in the rough shape of a bird, and she would point at that one. What if that comes out again?
I think, like, as soon as you touch it, like, she touches something and, like, 3 heroes, like, pop up from Gaia's Guardians. One probably with, like, water abilities. One is probably one with magic abilities. Like, maybe there's, like, a 4th one which is Ice Cube currently with a cross through it. And there's probably, like, a 3rd one. Probably maybe something like air control or dark hole or something which would take the air away.
Yeah.
Those guys will. Those guys will will stop that with trying to save you as well. And this is where we want to not let you do, and I think we can help you better than send you out on the street.
I can relatively control myself. I just have problems with some people, but that's what I'm afraid of the most.
She like zooms in like a bit more. She's like, to be honest, they didn't told me that. I have to like, don't be afraid. She keeps like looking at him. Like again, she's like a very unemotional person. There is some warm tones in her voice, but it's not like she gives that vibe of being a warm person. For the rest of her. She's like,
I just sort of black out when that happens, and I just know of the devastation afterwards.
She shows like another picture, and this is a picture of Pompeii with all the people like in stone covered, and she's like, this used to be Entropy, but it isn't him anymore. And I like to believe that we helped him to not become this again.
Are we able to change the subject? I don't exactly like talking about that.
Just think of what we said. If you're not like some others here, you're not in custody. You can leave whenever you want.
And go where?
If that's up to you. If you feel like you're no longer needed here, then you can be where you want. We can actually help you to get to some places, but the longer you stay here, the better opportunities we can grant you.
My biggest problem is I would like to stay here, but I'm just afraid of what I could do to the whole place just without thinking.
Have you tried to use your fires on the walls? She asks you. Try it. She points at the wall.
She's going to refrain from doing it. She's going to shake her head silently. She doesn't trust the walls.
She probably she knocks on the metal. She probably names some like made up metals, like completely fried.
Decent tanium.
Decent.
It's pretty decent.
It can hold a big structure, Pyre. But to be sure, most of the people here know of the danger. They're here on their free will. And if you would happen to do this here, there's a big space between you and to the world up. Currently. It's a pretty safe building. The worst case, this place would collapse, and Entropy would probably survive, W.I.P will probably survive, Slime would probably survive, so it's probably only me and Josh who wouldn't. And we knew that when we took this job.
Is W.I.P able to speak up?
She probably would have not let you into this, into her room. Like she doesn't have, like, this screen is your only, like, temporary, maybe came out of the wall, but
I mean, he may be an asshole and do shit for fun, but if she did like a formal request, he wouldn't do it most of the time.
I guess I understand. So,
he would have given her a text saying, should we install support safeties and whatnot for in case of a collapse would be the case.
Yeah, there are stuff built in. It's not like they instantly die. But the chances of them, there is a chance if this shit collapses that they would not make it out as easy as, say, Slime, W.I.P or Entropy. Same probably goes for Kenneth. He probably wouldn't make it out very easily, depending on the room which he is in when shit collapses and stuff.
Pyre.
But
Pyre
what
would be
W.I.P do notice is that Gideon is still on the other side of the door, waiting outside of the office.
Alright, she would have received a text with a little screenshot of that then.
She looks at it. She's like, Pyre, for now let's let it rest. I think Gideon wants to go out for a walk. She, like, hits a button and the door opens. There stands Gideon. Well, Gideon would be, like, around the corner because she knew she was gonna open the door, and he's just gonna act like you see it on the camera. He's like walking 3 steps and walks back. It's like, oh, you guys here? Oh, you guys here? Oh, wait, walk? I need a walk? Yeah, sure. Let's go for a walk outside. Because he can't read W.I.P minds. So.
No, not at all. He would probably see the camera following him, though.
Yeah, but he knows, like, nobody really believes W.I.P.
Nobody believes W.I.P is real.
But at this point, like, he read Miss Michelle's mind. He's like, oh shit, W.I.P sent a picture. He's just gonna keep, like, yeah, nobody trusts W.I.P. I'm just gonna keep this ruse on.
That's the grade A thing. Nobody trusts W.I.P. Therefore, he's the ultimate trustworthy buddy. Just as long as nobody pays him enough to give those secrets away.
And now I have to ask Reggie. Reggie, did you choose to go to the diplomats or go to
I think he said diplomat, but I forget which.
He's back, right?
Yeah, he is. Reggie, you're muted. Alright, he must have disappeared again.
I did not disappear again. I really forgot I was muted, and it made me panic. I was like, wait, damn it. You didn't hear me commenting.
Oh, there were so much comments.
I was making so many comments about things like you burning people alive and all these terrible things, and I shouldn't have, but oh well, you didn't hear it.
Look, W.I.P's not the one that's going to do that. He's going to shoot people with a fire extinguisher and say that, whoa, Cooley, you're such a hothead.
Stop. Anyway. Okay, so anyway. Alright, anyway. So the one that Entropy's going to would actually probably be, actually, he probably would go to the, what's it called, the, ambassador guy.
To the diplomat?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just so you know, or else you would have shown up now at the base. That's why I wanted to be sure.
Okay.
Let me see, for the base sake. Yeah, let's quickly go there. So you and your brother split up. You take the spirit of Leopold with you. For now, he does mention that he can hear. He activates, like your brother activates something so that he can hear from inside the rock. So
Right.
he doesn't have to be like out all the time for you to discuss things. So yeah, let me quickly get my notes on the place you're going. I think it's.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're going to this place called Damien. It's a place in Africa. It's like I said, it's a place where it's very open. It's not secretive. This is where people go to learn basic magic, and if they're good people, like they only accept like good people who want to use it for good things. So there are higher levels of magic, but there's no like shadow magic or blood magic or those kind of magic. It's very like healing and helping and assisting kinds of things, and they give it to everyone. There's no rich, no poor there. They're like same level. There's no king. Like the diplomat is one of the first ones who made this spot. But like every like he's only a diplomat because people voted him in. Like people are voted into stuff, and only for like 2 years or something max, and then they can be re-voted. So it's a very acceptance and open kind of place.
Right.
That kind of yeah. So
Okay.
as soon as you show up, like you probably teleport or something. I'm guessing.
Yeah, most likely actually, just because that would be the fastest and probably most secure way that. Because Entropy, otherwise Entropy would leaving a trail if he didn't just simply go there immediately, you know.
So
if not leaving one intentionally, because cookie crumbs. You never know when you're gonna get lost.
You do feel like you like going through a magic barrier when you teleport like close to this stuff. And when you're in, you just see like this, like a rip in space portal just closing like right in front of you. Maybe on the other side you're in a. It's just a very colorful city. There's lots of green and trees. The ground is made of sand. There are also rocks. So it's like for technological reasons they do some reaches with help of magic. But they try to stay as basic as possible. So maybe, like especially the outside, they like make it look very simple. Maybe like inside it could be very technological, but if outside is very
simple. Fair enough.
Yeah. So you actually see the diplomat and his son, like they were looking at the rip in the space, and he was like, "Entropy, you're just too late. Shadowhawk just left."
My character will sort of give a look on his face of just like I don't know how my Entropy would feel about it. Actually, to be fair, Entropy didn't actually mind him very much, if I remember correctly.
Well,
Entropy
to be
kinda
honest,
liked him.
like you guys saved a lot of lives together. He was very nice to you, whereas he never feared you. He always treated you like he was a good person to you. He tried to be friendly. Like
yeah, that is a good point. So in that case,
you guys would have been like friends.
Yeah, like I was saying. So in that case, Entropy would be like nod his head and say, "Ah, man, I guess I'll have to catch up with him another time." But I mean, that's okay.
Wait, you didn't get his message?
My character will blink a couple of times and look back at his phone, which at this point actually has turned into a cabbage, which he quickly rips in half and to show the screen. Do I have a message from Shadowhawk?
No, you didn't.
I'd blink and say, don't seem like I got one. What was he saying?
He went back to the universe he's from, and he took Alicia with him. Someone showed up who actually took him to this universe, but there was some trouble over there, and he needed to go back. So she sent him back.
I
see.
see.
I don't think he's gonna come back fast.
Well, that's unfortunate. Well, actually, that's probably a good thing, honestly, just because he's safe. But speaking of safe,
speaking of, why are you here if you did not get his message?
Well, I'll be 100% honest. I was wondering if you might be able to help me and my brother out a bit. We're sort of in a tight spot because of some... My character will actually begin ripping his cabbage up a little bit more to reveal a TV, a tiny TV he had in it, which he will press a button on and it'll turn on, showing the news about the whole stadium thing. We kind of have an issue, let's just say. And me and my brother were wondering if you could help us out in figuring out what is going on.
He's like looking at this images and like shocked, like we tried, like some people must have seen it here. We haven't discussed it yet. It's the first we're hearing it. So this probably at this point it probably like happened like yesterday. For some reason they're more like communications like as low as possible here.
Yeah, I imagine they are very much like you said. They are very like low tech in certain parts of it, and then
they prefer like letters here or other magical means of communication than like TV. Like technology, like maybe the like electricity is like hard to get here, even though they're.
So I imagine like that would mean that like maybe only certain people have heard, like some of the more like certain people have heard it, other people actually just haven't had a chance to hear anything about it yet.
Yeah, and he's probably been busy with Shadowhawk showing up, and then the people saying he needs to go back to like there was a whole thing with Shadowhawk needing to go back, which kept him like occupied for a while. So wait, how are you and your brother fixed to this? Sorry, I don't know.
My character will like sort of like scratch his neck for a second and say, "Well, this wasn't the only attack. See, kind of, you know that I'm part of this whole group, right?"
He's like, I have read some mentioning it, yes.
Well, the circles sort of got attacked as well, and that's not good, as we're kind of hard to hit. Whatever the heck this thing is might actually be really serious, but me and my brother are kind of cut off from all the other elements. We can't really talk to any of them right now. We don't know where any of them are. I'm actually kind of afraid.
Try turning it off and on again.
I'm actually kind of afraid that a lot of them might have possibly died.
He takes out like a phone or a technical device which looks like a phone. He's just checking stuff on it. Like I'm just checking where the information is available to most of us. Like yeah, I see there was an attack. There's no mention of the attack on you guys, so it hasn't leaked out, but that doesn't surprise me. Was there anything strange during your guys' attack except for they entering your guys' circle?
I don't know how much you know about our ways, but it's exceedingly rare for a new one of us to come around. Of course, we're reborn as it comes along after we die, but there are no new ones of us that show up. It's very rare for that to happen.
Well, it's actually not very rare, but I think they mentioned the level it came from. Like there's like minor ones. Like it was at least a middle one that showed up, or else they wouldn't have mentioned it.
No, my character will go into better explaining it then. In that case, he'll say like, normally a new one only shows up if something new has happened, something like has changed to cause the formation of a new element. The fact is, there was an announcement that was only told to the higher ups that there was a new element right before it happened. So that makes me think that there might be something going on more. And well, I'll be honest, sir, you seem like the most trustworthy human I know. Well, one of the most trustworthy humans I know.
Well, let's go inside and discuss further. We're a little bit out in the open, and to be honest, I think we need a place that we're sure we can trust. You have to like these are very sizable buildings. They're more like apartment buildings made of like the same color stone, more like a sandy color. But they're probably only like six floors high at most.
Uh-huh.
He brings you to a simple like one of these apartments he have himself. There's not much electricity. It's very like straight on the same colors on the outside. No windows. It's just a nice heat here, so they're just open like holes in the wall. There's lots of like curtains and carpets. There is a TV and there is a computer, but they're not the newest models. They're not on like all the time.
Right.
So yeah.
And like you said, it's hard for them probably to get stuff like, if it's hard for them to get electricity, I imagine they can't get the like, it would be very expensive to get like the top of the line stuff.
Yeah, and most people only stay here for like 4 to 6 months. And it's like, put your time in your training. If you're sitting here watching TV, you can do that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, he lives here, but he's one of the teachers mostly. So yeah, do you mention like the axe to him? I don't know if you remember. What was like one of the slime people had an axe, which was the only like weapon that was different. It was not like hyper technical, advanced. It was just like a normal old-looking axe, which your brother would have assumed was one of the weapons that can like kill you guys for a.
I would mention, of course, to him that, like, after, like, first up we made sure that we were fully secure, I would explain it in more detail, and I probably would mention the fact that there was that weapon, which is very much feared by our people, I would mention.
It's like, I read something in the text, there's only certain things that can, like, destroy you guys, but still they would be temporarily, correct? Just for a few, well, for you it could be decades.
Shit.
Maybe.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, that was me hitting something.
It's like he knew! Fuck, get out of here!
Shit, fuck, I'm running! Ah. Anyway, but, he would say, yeah, the most I think, while it's not ordinary for it to be centuries, it can be centuries. I know for a fact whenever I was killed, it was quite a couple of years. I think maybe a decade, possibly 2. Maybe 3, I can't remember. How long was it that I was dead again?
You just ask him.
No.
You were dead for... You were dead. I don't know if that was a lost iteration. You were probably only dead. I think you mentioned only like 30 years. That you were dead.
So like 2-3 generations, or not 2-3 generation, 2-3 decades. That'll work. Yeah, 3 decades, we'll say.
Like
okay.
you weren't like there was like still a secret like how you were killed. There was like in your former life you were against the government structure inside of you guys, but that was like 600 years ago and it haven't killed you guys. But you probably like just took space for most of those years from humans as well as them, and like 30 years ago you just got randomly killed, and there's not really much information about. That's still a secret how you got killed or who did it. He will ask he will goes like, Rutendo, could you please get him some tea? So his son, he says, do you want some tea? Entropy.
He's offering tea, you said?
Yeah.
He'll like nod his head as like, sure, why not?
So his son's gonna make some tea. For you, it's very interesting to look talking with this person since you have been copying him for a few days, learning all the things he do, the way he talks. There's just some recognition, now he's talking with his hands like this, and he's like, yeah, that's what he always do. And there's like some
stereotypical Italian person, mamma mia.
Stop.
He's like, well, I really want to know that I will be my honest that you can trust me. And he's like checking his phone, like there is some information available from they've captured some of the attackers. I see. It's pretty similar to what you saw in the news. So they know they're cyborgs, they know we're missing people. There's some extra information on there. It's like they know that there's different species. So there's the sub guys, which were most of them, which were the missing persons. And there's like the one that says Megaton, which was like talking and stronging, talking about that they need 2 of them to make the smaller ones. But if one of them can make smaller ones, but 2 of them can make one of them, but it takes time. And that's what they infected Captain Titan with. He's like, there's no news in Captain Titan. I must admit, they're saying that they're from a different dimension, which is similar to us, which is interesting. Because I've only seen them use technological weapons, which are. This is also news that come out. Their weapons are. They're using some of the stuff that's on their body in their weapons, making them a bit different from how your technology works.
Yeah.
A little bit more. It's not like advanced, just different at this point. Maybe in some parts advanced, but in some parts lacking. Like there's a difference. More for warfare, less for communications, that kind of stuff. And it goes on. It's like I don't know how they showed up in the world. That's maybe, but I don't see any mention of them using magic. If it's a similar world to us, there should have been magic. Either there's something happened in that universe, or it's less used, or they just didn't brought it here. But it's interesting. I would like personally, I would send people using magic to this side instead of weapons, knowing we have magic as well. Maybe there's some differences between our world and theirs. If I remember correctly, and it goes on, like your persons only live in this current universe, correct? There's no doppelgangers around other universes.
My character will blink a couple of times in thought.
Yeah, there's like you guys, even if you try to jump universes, everyone would jump with you guys. So there is something in place that you can't jump.
Oh, so basically we must stay on this universe. Basically,
yeah, and you used to be doing that. Like in the beginnings, they sometimes jump dimensions, and you never found anything similar to you guys. They did some like small things, like there were similar. Sometimes it was almost the exact same world, except you guys never showed up.
I will mention then that fact that we are very much unique in the fact that, as far as we know, we cannot leave this universe, nor can we have we ever found any that are like us. I will mention that then to him.
Yeah, he goes to he grabbed the book and he's like, yes, there's some mention of that you guys built something in, I think it's the ocean, a big structure that kind of anchors you to this universe. But they also, he's like, you captured something there? I don't know, these and he puts it back. These books of myth sometimes go very, like it's probably like the same like Atlantis, never found it, tried to find it, still searching.
Wait, so you're saying that's what Atlantis was?
No, he's saying it might be a legend. He says like, you know, I'm trying to find Atlantis, but I like he searched for myths and he's like, sometimes I cannot find them, or he finds them and it's like completely untrue, you know.
Right. I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, my character will pipe up saying like, well, to be fair, I don't know anything about that either, but the higher-ups might be keeping that a secret from us too. We don't really. Well, the higher-ups kind of sometimes like to keep stuff from us, and honestly, it's their right, being the leaders. Well, at least they think it's their right.
This is what we know currently, so the question is what to do next. So, you trust your brother?
My brother has, well, my character will actually sit there thinking for a second and say, I trust my brother. Yes. There was mention of how it might be an effect of, like, sometimes our powers do stuff that we don't understand nor want them to. We kind of can't control them all the time, as you might imagine.
He's like, yeah,
so,
collateral magic.
There is a possibility that me or my brother might be doing this without realizing it, although I don't think that's true. If you ask me, if there's a new element and these things just appeared, maybe that new element is unconsciously creating these guys, or bringing them from their universe into ours.
He's like, that's possible. Then we need to find these new elements. But probably people already went after that. So searching where he was wouldn't, well, maybe give a hint to where he is now, but he's probably not there anymore. Is there anyone else you bringing into this, or brought into this, that you can trust?
You remember Miss Bouchard, right?
Of course, we are old friends.
I told my brother that it'd probably be a good idea to involve her, since she's investigating this too. I'm not really sure if there's many other people that need to be involved, just because no offense, but I don't really know you humans very well. I'm not really like you guys, so I only feel like I can trust a few of you, and I definitely trust you.
He goes on, like, at this point probably the kid brings the tea. He just sits next to his father, also drinking some tea. He's not like, you can't hear this, it's just you can hear this.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
my eyes will actually shift over to him when he comes back, and I will pipe up asking, I'll pipe up to him and say,
grown slightly since you see him. Maybe some
right.
longer hair. More relaxed than he used to be.
Yeah, I'll ask him, like, how's your training going, by the way? You doing well?
It's like, to be honest, I'm trying to take it slow and perfect every spell before I go on to the next one. I don't want anything to go amiss, and to keep my powers focused. I do lots of meditation, still keep all my other educations in check. I've learned 3 new languages since I saw it.
Wow, you're a lot smarter than I am. My character will scratch his head once, being like,
just saying, he's a goddamn show off.
Oh, he's just, for him, it's just he's not a show off for himself. He's just answering the question as perfect as possible for the question.
Yeah.
And to be awesome.
My character will actually, like, sort of nod his head a little bit, saying, and then say, like, yeah, I'm very glad that you actually are at least found a little bit of peace in your studies. It's good to see that you're working towards something nice. You are okay with everything happening, right?
Well, he's like, not the attacks that you just mentioned, but for the rest I'm okay. I'm very glad that.
Oh no, I didn't.
Cult has been arrested and apprehended and not trying to get to me. They've arrested some other agents. There are probably still some out there, and we'll keep an eye on those and try to keep me safe. But I trust, and he will look at my father. He actually mentioned his father. It's not actually his father, but he just does call him father, even though.
Yeah.
And I think this is the best place for me to be currently. And I can do a lot of help here. I'm also teaching others some of the basic magic, which for me is currently. I'm trying
my character,
to teach.
Right. My character will nod his head a little bit and say, you know, one of these days I gotta teach you a little bit of my magic. You'll probably enjoy it.
Oh yes, he goes like, I learned some from Bob. Bob is the one you gave the book to with some of the Entropy magic. Yeah, he's here.
The chaos magic, yeah.
The father goes is like, Miss Bouchard, I to be honest, I have known her before. Is she trustworthy? I would say yes. She is, however, very protective of her sister and her family. But they would probably be, in this case, in danger as well, which would be a good thing. She has troubles trusting others, to be honest. There's not many people she actually trusts. The only one I probably know that she does trust is Josh, Mr. Keegan. She probably doesn't trust her sister. I would not be surprised if she doesn't trust herself. For the rest, she of course is currently in the Super Parole. Who can be trusted there is hard to say after I met Magus, because Magus was not to be trusted. I've heard others being. I think currently your guys are getting safer in that regards. I still know some of you who are more in the other cover team, who I'm not sure that you can trust. So that's mentioning the other characters who are there, older PCs like Brasford, and two others I just can't come with her Moonlighter, and who was the third one? There was the shooter guy.
I actually don't remember him very well. I think he only played in one. He was one session guy, and I don't know.
It's like Evian, Brasford. That was the girl and the shooter guy. So there's like four of them on that team. Who we trust less, but there's less communications with. They're like a separate unit at this point. He's like, right. I trust many people in Gaia's Guardians. To be honest, some of them can be a bit of buffoons and try to get into the trying to get popular kind of section, but most of them are good people who can be trusted. And he's like going through like some of the people who he does trust, who he doesn't trust. Especially like when he mentions David, since David has been like gone for like 400 years and he's the one who brought him back. There's like not real that he would be a traitor of some kind. He doesn't see that as an option.
Right.
But there's also no mentions of like traitors in Gaia's Guardians as of yet, as this is maybe in your orders. So you'd say like
I'm not.
Things we can do now is like first find people we trust, talk with Yano. We know there's one of those still out there. We have Magaton, but there's at least one of them still out there. There's what's her name? Captain Titan somewhere out there. We probably need to find that element that has been born. Are there any other
we might need to, honestly, if we can make connection with any of the elements. Well, I'm not sure if we should trust them, as I didn't get much of a chance to get to know many of the other elements, but it would probably be helpful to at least find the others so we can start working towards figuring out this. Maybe not trusting them fully, but at least working with them a little bit.
Figure out the one you trust most. Keep an eye on him and first test him, and then let him in. Don't be too straightforward.
My character will nod his head and say, "That's pretty solid advice. I appreciate that." I'm normally much more. My character will sort of shrug and laugh a little bit and say, "Chaotic in my choosing of stuff like this."
I will do the same. Figure out who I can trust. Talk to them, communicate, trust who they know. For me, I probably will go after where the other one still is, who it is, and maybe try to find a way to heal the persons who are currently being held under this affliction.
What's that guy's name, by the way, that's in the stone? I forgot his name for a second.
For the diplomat?
No, the guy in the stone.
Leopold. I'll write it down.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I will like nod my head a couple of times and then say, Leopold, what do you think about all this?" I'll pull out the stone and set it on the table without activating it.
Well, he can activate himself, at least for
Oh,
showing
okay.
out. Or he can. I would say he can also just talk through the stone. So in this case, maybe just a voice like. To be honest, I have heard of this person. What's his name? Edelhart. I have heard of you before. We haven't had much dealings in the past, but he's probably have some connections I used to have. He had some good points on figure out who is after it. I think if you leave me in some kind of way of communicating with a computer, I can probably figure out where the other person is. There were some mentions on cyborg parts and mechanical enhancements, which used to be my specialization before I got killed. So I could maybe, if I have a look, figure out who made these. Maybe trace a buyer or a seller to, or an implanter surgeon to these kinds of stuff. And he goes on, it's like, he likes to brag about his connections.
Yeah. Personally, I'd just let him brag about his connections, and then I'm gonna look
psychological from him as well. It's like listening to this Edelhart, he's a very smart person with lots of control, a specialization in his class, which is a dumb profession to specialize in magic. Doesn't have a real future in the world that's coming. Technology has already outdated. Like he goes on that technology is superior over magic, making himself feel more superior.
Hey, now, look, we're trying to work together. Don't be rude.
It's like mother.
Magic has its own place.
Like. For you, Entropy, I'm guessing mother issues.
What? Wait, what does he say?
For you, I'm guessing mother issues, like for your behavior.
My character will actually blink a couple of times and actually look at them and say, "Do I have a mother? I never asked that. Probably should have asked that."
Like.
Yes, I have mother's issues in the fact that I don't have a parent.
That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah. You win some, you lose some. I got problems. I'm not saying I don't. I'm actually pretty sure I have a lot of problems, actually, considering I'm a being made of eldritch chaos. But hey, like I said, you win some, you lose some.
So that's
ignoring that.
And Leopold keeps talking. That's another way I could help. I'm very knowledgeable of psychological being states of human, and I can tell you by listening to a person who and you can trust and who you might not be able to trust.
Well, that's why we have you, buddy. Now then.
Like at this point, like the guy like reacts like, Entropy, what is this? Why is this stone talking like he knows my name? Is this some kind of?
Oh, do you? What's his last name? Leopold something?
I just put it in Roll20.
Oh, thank you. Okay, let me see here. There it is. Yeah. This is Leopold Tubbers. I believe he died a little while back, and basically it was this whole thing about one of our members in Super Parole having been given a very dangerous item by death that absorbs souls. Long story short, this guy died before his time, so might as well get some use out of him.
Wait, Entropy, you can't talk about souls this way. This poor person was killed before his due. You can't. Is he okay with this?
I imagine he's not okay with it. Are you okay with this? I imagine not.
For now, it's better than being captured in some kind of sword for like a couple of weeks with some other souls.
I mean, beside that, obviously.
Bad guys, so this person is less crazy than the guys I was in some kind of sword with. I was actually hoping to try to get to a bargain to a better arrangement, but I think Entropy can help me in that when we get there. I know he has his own personal space, which I probably can use build a physical body in his personal space.
Oh yeah, no, I probably could bring you back to life if I wanted to. But
He's like, wait,
right now wouldn't be the best thing, but
wait,
yeah, we can talk
wait.
about that later.
Mr. Entropy, well, why wouldn't this be a good thing? I mean, having a buddy, if I get that, I will return to this. I mean, we might not skip over this idea just yet.
Look, listen, I'm telling you right now, I trust you because you can't actually, go off and do stuff behind my back. If I were to give you a body, I couldn't trust you anymore, and I'd have to probably remove a couple of your memories, but then I'd let you free and do whatever you want. Which one do you prefer?
Like, you see the diplomat, like, looking a bit, like, not disgusted, like, a bit lower than disgusted, like, like, it's a bit awful what you're doing, but not, like, horrible, just, and then Leopold goes like, okay, he does have a point.
I mean, again, I could simply just remove a couple of memories, let you off on your way, give you a body.
I agree completely with your Entropy. You need to solve this. You can resurrect
Once we solve this, buddy, I'll make sure to get you a body. Don't worry. I'll even keep in contact with you if you ever need anything.
He's like,
give me the favor, yeah?
I don't even trust people.
Anyway, I'll say, I'll tell you what, I'll even owe you a favor after all this, huh?
Sure. Like, there's one small mention of the diplomat, and it's that W.I.P also contacted him about people entering his digital space, and that he kind of owed him to help him. So he set up a meeting with these guys, but he don't know what happens after this meeting.
Well, call me crazy, and this is just, of course, me spitballing random ideas here. Quiet, Jim. Call me crazy, and this is just me spitballing ideas here, but maybe there's an organization of some kind that we don't know about that might be making all this happen? Could there be some sort of, organization we don't know about?
Like, both Leopold and Edelhard agree there's probably some companies that do some awful stuff that they're currently not knowing about. So they're not saying that this is highly possible. And Leopold says if you give him some ways to contact persons, he maybe be able to find some stuff.
Alright, I'll see about setting you up in a minute or two, buddy.
But I think that's. Is there anything else you want to discuss with them, or is this?
No. I imagine we're all gonna start trying to.
And you can. He gives you his phone number probably. Like, W.I.P already had it. Like it's yeah. Like as be sure that with your you can probably call not be hacked Entropy. Like your stuff is secure as fuck. Like a hacker maybe a magic user can break into your phone, but not a hacker.
Yeah, I imagine a magic user of sufficient skill could actually probably get into my stuff, but mine, again, I imagine my stuff doesn't actually work like a normal piece of equipment might.
Excellent. So let's over to the other side, to the base. Let me see. Is there anything? Let me think here. Is that where is Entropy going next to the base, or else we'll just go there?
I imagine he'll stay there for a little bit. Maybe go back to the Egypt place that he was, and possibly set up our his new friend in the rock, Leopold, with some stuff so that he can actually get to contacting people and dealing with trying to look up information on his own.
You're just taking over the office building. It's now Entropy Incorporated.
I do have posted cards that happen to be me, so I mean, no.
Okay. So yeah, we head off to the base. In the base, for the rest, it's also brought to the attention of the other people that Slime and Mangimania are being sent off to Paris, where this new school is starting. This is the first school where people can actually learn about their powers, and they're currently taking members in for their first first class Super Parole first class.
Great.
So she's heading off. Dr. Nano is also heading to Paris. He's going to work together with Midas. Since Midas still wants to give payback for not winning the tournament, so that's why he's like, yeah, you're gonna work for me. And Midas recently learned that fucking Dr. Nano has a island, like a tropical island base, which he's gonna build a teleporter to, which Midas wants to chill on island. So, 2 reasons why he's going there.
Sounds like something he would do.
Yeah.
They also think like, what does this character want? It's like, yep, getting paid. The other guy wants payback, and there's an island. So yeah, they're like, and for Midas, for Nano's like, I get paid, I'm fine. I don't need to hang out with these guys. Like, annoying Midas is like he's positively looking forward to annoying Midas in the future. So, at what does Entropy come in the next week? We're also just gonna skip a week.
No, Entropy definitely would come within the next week. There's like, he wouldn't be staying away that long, you know.
Okay.
He just, again, like I said, needed to set up to make sure like everything was okay with
let's say you come in
his friend, which
2 days. Is there anything? Let's start with W.I.P. Is there anything W.I.P does in those 2 days? Like for you know the scout, scout. I'm just gonna call him Scout. He is being very passive, very reluctant. Sometimes he's like talking like, you know, Shadowhawk already here. When Shadowhawk gonna, like, mostly if Shadowhawk ever gonna show up here. He does sometimes get annoyed by your recording. It's not like he always completely fucking ignores it. You guys have also found by technological upgrades on the bodies beneath the human skin. That's why it didn't show up on the original scans. So they're like, one has an enhanced arm, the other has enhanced senses, and some of them are not even like working things. Some is like, you know, electrical tattoos and stuff. Is there anything W.I.P wants to do in the next 2 days?
Outside of the stuff that he does, like on a day-to-day basis, no, not really. Nothing for W.I.P.
Okay. Is there anything Pyre does, like setting up her room that she just got?
I wanted to do something, if you don't mind, to humor me.
Sure.
While walking the dog, she's going to... I'd assume that she was given money at some point. Yeah. She's going to go buy a pack of cigarettes with the dog.
Of course she will.
Yes.
Because that's her addiction.
So yeah, like, how do you look? Are you wearing like your outfit?
No, she's not wearing the... She's not wearing the quote-unquote disguise she wore on the tournament. She's just going to walk in.
So yeah, you walk into this shop that sells cigarettes and stuff. What kind of shop are you going into? Are you going to like a gas station? Are you going to a supermarket? Are you going to what kind of shop are you going into? A bar?
I'm gonna humor you. Whatever you think she would find, because I feel like if I was at a gas station, that would be absolutely horrific. But I'm gonna let you choose, like, where I end up to go buy cigarettes.
I'm going for gas stations, since your guys are in a warehouse district, so there's not many shops in walking distance.
Oh, so we're in like the shady as hell neighborhoods.
Well, like that's where your base is, right? Like, it's not shady as hell. It's like there's just no real homes. It's like where the companies and where it's more like the industrial area. It's not like shady in area, but there's like a gas station for like the trucks that go out here and stuff. Right. And like, it's probably more like an electric gas station, so don't think fuel, because we're probably driving mostly.
Thank God.
Mostly electric. by then. There's probably still some gas for like the old times there, but it's like such a small and secure. It's not like, oh, I just I'm not. So yeah, you head in there. There's like lots of like before you come in, lots of like food and drinks you can buy. There's like lots. We see very colorful like icons. There's very much commercials, like marketing, like moving pictures. There's a person behind for where you can pay and buy things, but it's behind glass, like very protective glass in case somebody wants to grab your shit. It's like can I help you, young lady?
Give me all your money.
This is a stick-up, holds the dog as like a gun.
Great.
He's just like, please put me down, human. No, not gonna do that. I'm gonna say no. I'm good, thanks. And I'm just gonna browse the store casually. Just a little kid with her little dog, and I'm going to pick the most expensive pack of cigarettes or cigars I can find.
Well, the cigarettes and like alcohol would be behind the counter that's protected, which you need to ask for. It's not like
okay.
We give you shit open. Like so, you're browsing around, and like at that point, like Gideon goes like, "Why do you want to buy cigarettes? Why are you feeling that this is like a bad thing? Like, how are you feeling? Are you hiding this shit? Do you know you're getting in trouble, or you think like, oh, I can buy this shit?
I can buy shit. Once in my life, I don't have to steal it. I'm gonna straight up buy it. And I have like 3 packs of ice cream, some chips, all the horrifically spicy chips.
Jeez.
And there's just like I have like a shopping bag full of this already, just of ice cream and chips.
Okay, so he would probably like mention, like you're thinking I want chips, and the dog would be like, oh, over there. Like so the dog would be talking with no mention, like, oh, you're like smokes,
Yeah.
and the dog would be like, you're like okay with it, so the dog would be like, oh yes, they're behind the counter over there.
Alright, yeah.
And then at that point, like, the person behind the counter is having weird thoughts with seeing me talk. He never seen a dog talk, dog. I get this a lot.
That's doggist.
That's doggist. How dare you? But yeah, I'm gonna have all this, and I'm gonna also request for the most expensive pack of cigarettes in the back.
Like,
And I'm just gonna straight up ask, why do you have those drinks behind there as well? Like, I understand they're alcohol, but I mean, you're not gonna stop somebody.
Well, she's like, this is the things that are expensive and highly recommend, like highly risk of getting stolen. That's why we keep them behind this barrier, which no bullet can pass. But you wanted cigarette. Who are you buying cigarettes for? If I might ask.
She just points at herself with both fingers. Me.
You heathen!
Sorry. Can I see your ID, please?
I look to the dog.
And the dog says, she wants to see her ID because there's an age restriction on the things you want to buy. You apparently need to be like 18 or something.
Hell.
Which, in your head, it seems that you're 13. And then the dog goes, can you please, wait, why does your dog talk? It's scaring, are you for
Why does your dog talk?
is this some kind of, is this kind of camera? Am I coming on TV? Oh, well, I'm now expecting this to be a blackface. Oh my god, I'm coming on TV. Can someone where are the cameras?
I just look left and right, like.
Just very confused of like
I think they said he was Cuban or something. I don't know. I can't remember what the ghost said to me.
Can I wave to the camera to say hello?
Jim, what are you talking about?
Like, hi mom, I'm on TV. And she's like, oh yeah, like, and she's gonna just naming like other women, like, I'm on TV. You never thought they're gonna be anything. I'm on TV. So what do you want? Like cigarette? Oh, this is probably some prank show. She's like, is this really a prank show? Because I'm like, I would give you
no.
this. I would sell you them if there's not a prank show. Then are you kidding me right now? I'm so confused.
I'm pretty sure I'm not kidding. Like
the dog goes like,
prank?
Give me the fucking.
The dog,
just
the
really
dog goes
angry.
like, the dog like touches you a bit and goes low. It's like, Pyre, she's only gonna sell you if you say it is on like a prank show or something. And thinking like others, all she's not thinking of selling them to you.
Yes, a prank show. All right.
Yes, you're on a prank show, and I'm 38.
Not even something realistic, like fucking like, oh, I'm 19. Wink, wink.
Let me quickly check if you can roll something for this. Is there something?
Oh, I'm not going to roll. If I have to roll, I'm just going to say I fail automatically.
Okay, sure.
Jib, why aren't you putting forth effort? Come on, man.
Because it's more entertaining just to see it fail.
Like,
alright, whatever.
I can give you these, like these very expensive cigarettes if you want them. They're very good to have, but they're the only one I can sell for your age. And she winks.
I take a quick look at them. What are they? Are they sugar kind?
Hey, sugar cigs, no joke.
Make a perception roll.
Okay, that's right. I only speak English. I don't know this language. Shit.
Well, no. She speaks English.
Okay.
Like most of this,
I mean, how do you?
In English.
I'm about to say maybe the packaging might not be in English, but
like at this point, like
really high.
There's like districts where like certain like more Germans live and more Chinese, but it's very international cities currently. Like people, like
right.
They live here and they just go and live there. Let's actually, what did you roll? 16. Yeah. So the size she's showing to you looks like cigarettes, but you look on the ingredients list like on the side, and it's like 70% cacao, so much percent milk. So you're guessing these are chocolate cigarettes.
Oh, I love chocolate cigarettes.
I'm just gonna open one right in front of her, just snap my fingers to light the end of it, and just ignite it, and then just try to inhale it a really deep inhale, and then just like shoot the smoke through my nose and just try it.
I don't think that works. I don't think you can.
It's chocolate, Jim. It's not actually.
She's going. I mean, she's on fire. There's gonna be smoke. I'm just saying, like, she's gonna try and smoke it anyway.
So yeah, you burn like the small paper like in a few seconds. The most of the chocolate is melting. There's some chocolate dust and paper smoke coming through, like for a sec. She's like, phew. Wait. Are you some kind of super? So hands? Or I'm gonna get it. I'm on like a show, right?
You're not on a prank show. No, I'm just trying to buy cigarettes, miss.
Gideon goes like, yeah, she's like a super, like a Hans person, like you're guessing. And looking into her mind, she has been smoking almost all of her life. You've probably recently seen it with her on TV. She won that tournament. She's like, well, like, can I please see your IDs?
I don't have one.
You have, like, they at this point they haven't given you one yet. She's like adept, like the whip knows, like sees all this shit. Just so
he's not gonna do shit. He's like recording this, like sending it to Miss Michonne, saying like, "We need to put this on Uplay or whatever the future YouTube is."
Not Uplay. Jesus, not Uplay.
She's like, "Well, I'm sorry, Miss, but there is an ID age for this, which is 18. I don't know. There may be superhero privileges, but I'm not aware of them. I don't know how you used to get cigarettes. I just can't hand them to you. I would lose my job. Then I would not have any money. I'm so sorry.
I got in the past by just stealing it or finding it in the garbage.
And then you got arrested. Great.
She's like,
what a fucking hero you are, Jim.
I would recommend.
I'm not a hero.
She would go like, I would recommend that you would not steal cigarettes.
I have money now. I have money now. I can actually try to buy things like a decent human being.
Is still like considered a bad habit. Even those e-cigarettes, they're a bit better, they say. But to be honest, we're still after 20 years. We're still fucking not sure. We at least know smoking's bad. You might want to talk to someone. Sorry, I just it's against company rules, and I can't give it over my heart to sell cigarette to little girls this age. I'm so sorry. And like she gives you like a free pet, like some candy, like just take this. She's like, take the chips, take the candy. They're you can take them. You don't need to pay for them.
Pyre's going to grumble and pay for the stuff that she actually bought, and like she's gonna grumbly say thank you, and just when she goes to leave, she turns back and says, "I will return for those cigarettes and cigars and everything that I can't get. Mark my words, lady. I do not know your name of."
She's like a little bit scared, like knowing you have fire powers. And like you get like Gideon's like, that was maybe a bit extreme. You didn't have to, you know, and like that. She did put something in the bag for you extra while you were not looking.
I'm gonna do like, what was it? I'm just gonna dig in the bag. Probably I'm still at the door frame. I'm digging for it.
Yeah, she put some nicotine gum in the bag.
Not quite the same, but works.
Right. She's gonna pop it in her mouth and chew on it and go, "All right, this could do." She gives her a. Pyre's gonna give her a thumb up and keep walking with the dog while chewing the gum.
Let me see. So, is there anything Kenneth wants to do in the 2 days before? He's free to walk around the city to check stuff out. He can be just like, you know, chilling after the tournament and all the things that happened.
I actually have an idea.
Go ahead.
Basically working on like he's going to start working basically on his room because he imagines he might be working with these guys for a while, and it might be more ideal to have more comforts in his room than he thinks, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to go and you know, find like some of the basic necessities he might feel like he needs, you know, stuff like that, and then he'll actually go to the closest pet shop that he knows, like he can find.
Yeah, that's a small drive. You probably take a car, like an Uber service, but you can just call up a car.
Right.
There's no driver. You can sit in the driver's seat if you want. It's just an automated car.
Right. And since he doesn't know the area, he probably will just let it drive on his own.
Yeah.
He will go to the nearest pet shop and walk in and start inspecting what kind of insects that they have.
Okay. Let me quickly.
Yeah, I imagine they just have this sort of like normal fare kind of thing, right?
Well, they would have like the normal thing. Some stuff would be more allowed since the technological advancement made sure that these species are safer. They're not as endangered as they used to be. So there would have more birds, more reptiles, more animals are allowed.
Uh-huh.
They probably have like some digital screens for like bigger animals, if you want like a cow or a pig or crocodile, or you know, like I would say like more stuff just allowed, because one day like this way they can trace it, they can make sure you have the correct stuff in place. And,
yeah,
it's easier to
they have these. I imagine that way so that there's no illegal selling of these things, or at least less of it, so they can actually keep up with who has what in case of issues.
Yeah,
that actually is kind of a smart way of doing it, honestly, so that they can keep records on that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But after a while, he's probably going. Specifically, he's going to be looking at the ant in species. And do they sell bullet ants? Do you know?
Not currently in the shop, but they do have them on the digital platform. You can buy.
Excellent.
Yeah, they have like in different forms and shapes. Yeah, there's like the size of the cage you want, like of the glass, and the different structures. You can have them filled with sand or red rocks or with earth.
Right. First up, he'll actually go up to the people, like the I guess the clerk or whoever it is that's in there, and he's going to start discussing whether or not these ants have been like genetically modified to be tamer or anything like that.
He's like, no, we do not. There's not something we do with animals. We don't modify them at any point. We're just like we just want to keep it natural. Like that could mess up the whole ecosystem, messing with your DNA. It's not something that's something we should be against, which is against the law, and we're completely.
Oh, good, excellent. Then I was worried that it might be that they might not be quite as vicious. As
no, again, they wouldn't do that because like then you would make them ants. If they get out, they would infect actual bullet ants, and you would destroy a fucking ecosystem. Like, yeah, this is not things that they're messing with for these kinds of.
Either case, hearing that, my character will nod in appreciation, and then make a request. Like he's going to order a rather large like tank and like this whole like exceedingly expensive like system for the ants, and he's going to order like a rather decently large supply of them.
Sure. Do you want like a multiple like tribes? Like they come in like in groups with a queen. So would you want like multiple queen groups in a cage, or do you say one queen and only worker ants?
One queen will work.
One queen.
Yeah, this is just something my character will order, and like yeah. I imagine, like I said, it won't be available for a while until it gets like comes in through order. But
yeah, it probably will come in like the next day. Ordering shouldn't be like that difficult. Thanks you, Amazon.
Thanks, Amazon.
Animal Zone.
Animal Zone, yeah, sure. Yeah, he does this for today, for the first day, gets them in the second day, I imagine. He'll probably, like, set it up in his room and stuff like that, and when next time people come into his room, he just has a giant case of, ants that he's been, like, working with. And most likely he'll actually have set up, like, a table for him to do any sort of projects and whatnot. Probably ordered a couple of chemicals and stuff like that for him to tinker with. Miss Bouchard actually might have noticed that some of the chemicals that he got were kind of dangerous, if she wants to say anything about that.
No, she will make sure that you will only use them inside of your own room. And in that case, she's perfectly fine with it stuff. She does check from, like, they're dangerous in like acids kind of stuff, but there's no like chemical reactions that could actually deal lots of damage. So it's like having cleaning supplies, you know. Like cleaning supplies can be fucking dangerous. Like she's like.
To be fair, he did order a couple of cleaning supplies.
Yeah. Like again, it's not like something she's gonna stop you for. And she probably can guess like, oh, you bought some bullet ants, but this stuff. Okay, she gets the idea what you're maybe trying to do. Like, are you gonna test the shit on your own skin? Is that what I'm?
Not quite, but this basically, if you want me to explain it, the background of it is that Kenneth just really enjoys bullet ants, and it actually reminds him of his past. Basically, quote unquote, he was part of a gang that had a very much like ant themed like motive going for them. So it was like habit that a lot of the higher ups actually had like ants that they kept.
The
like and the triads. What?
Not a triad, but a tri-ant. In that case.
No. Nice try, but no. I actually think I remember calling. I don't remember if I ever mentioned their names. Actually, what did I call them?
No, you never did.
I think actually they were just named the Black Ants that I said,
Okay,
or that's what I named them whenever I was writing all that stuff up.
They're Rick, Bob, and Steve.
What? No.
It was called the Kenneth Peterson experience.
Oh shit.
Sure. Yeah, we quickly, so you get this stuff in. The next day, Entropy shows up like in front of the warehouse, and he walks slowly to the warehouse.
His hair is grown out weirdly enough. You know how it is.
Just suddenly has a beard. No, the base explodes just in front of him. Like there's this big blast, like slowing him down, like
Yeah, slow motion, just like yeah.
No, I'm not joking. That's actually what happens.
Wait, what? Hold up, you said the base explodes. Hold on a minute.
Yes, the base explodes.
Seriously?
Shit!
Seriously.
Oh fuck! Not again.
Not again. Right.
Okay, in that case, Entropy will, jokes aside, will rip off the hair extensions he got and the leather jacket that he was about to put on, and quickly runs towards the exploded building. Putting
aside the jokes, literally.
Well, no, that's what he was doing as his joke. That's what his joke was, that he'd been gone so long. Yeah, exactly. But now that the explosion happened, he's no longer joking because that's serious.
Yeah, but this is like, he puts them aside literally. He takes them off and drops them. So what does Entropy do? Let's see. Firewall go off.
He quickly panics and calls up he won't call up anyone. He'll quickly exactly like how badly are we talking about exploding here?
Well,
like the entire place is in flames.
You know, there's like a warehouse, and that's what you see exploding, but the actual base is much deeper. So it could be that only the top building, but you saw like the flame that goes up is like fucking high. So it looks like as it's being concentrated into the elevator shaft. Like it's especially. The explosion seemed to happen where the elevator used to be. It's not like the whole building is broke, but actually where the elevator was, there's a big. And you do mention there were some of the other warehouses, like small warehouses to the side. I think were also, one of them was connected to Shadowhawk's stuff, because his car could go up there, if I remember correct. So there's a few seconds later, like 20 seconds, also there. Fire start from a second building to the side.
Okay, in that case, my
I didn't do it.
As far as you know. My character will, in a panic now, rush over to the main building, and is there like any way that my character can get into the building even though it's burning or anything?
Your character can get in. The question is, how does he wants to get in? Yeah, you know, there's another platform in the warehouse that opened up for like vehicles, but that was like a bit stronger to not make things noticed. So you push the button and the thing opens up. There's no elevator currently. The elevator has been destroyed, but there's a big enough hole where you can get down.
All right. You'll see my character like look at his hands for a second as little suction cups begin appearing on it, and he begins making his way down the elevator shaft using nothing but his hands and feet.
So yeah, we go to like 10 minutes earlier before the explosion happened to the base.
Oh, thank God! I thought I was just gonna have to deal with this shit.
Fucking reset. No, we see Miss Bicham. She took a chair and sitting across Scout, interviewing him, asking some questions. And you see Scout, he's like, this day he's been like totally down. He's totally sick of this fucking whip messing with him, not Shadowhawk being here, and he's like at this point talking to Miss Michelle. So you French woman, he's just not gonna show up, is he? He's gone. There's no way in hell. Like, you're just gonna sit here and torture me for the rest of my life, which is enhanced by this thing, so it's probably forever. With this thing, it cannot die, so I'm fucked, is what you're saying. She's like, unless you give us information how we can save you. He's like, there's just one way out, and it's not that. And at that point, an alarm goes off, and you hear, like in the corner, we see the invisible puppy like appear next with Gideon, because apparently the puppy can make fields of invisibility. So Gideon was invisible. He's like, yeah, he got an explosion, and he says like a code like B43 alarm. So this alarm goes off, and you hear the voice of Shadowhawk going, a non-Shadowhawk explosive is inside of this building.
God damn it!
And about to go. Running unrealistic situation, 5-step 3 level 4. Like Shadowhawk has made all of these impossible situations he planned for. So basically, what happens? The guy, he shows the slime, the black goo disappears a bit. You see, he got some explosive underneath his head that is starting to go off, like almost immediately. But all the puppies spring into action. Like the super fast puppy brings in the puppy who controls air, who blows back the fire for a moment. We get a scene. We follow the fast running puppy like grabbing everyone, taking all the important stuff. So he guns in, grabs Kenneth. Kenneth gets thrown into the elevator shaft.
Kenneth at the same time will, of course, like as he's being called, like, wait, what? No, hey, my bullet and queen. But anyway, just like as a tiny thing he says. Yeah,
and like at the bottom, like they're like out of the wall of the elevator shaft is like a slide is being created that you don't fall hard. Like that's something Shadowhawk built in. So the faster goes to the next one, he grabs Pyre, throws her down the elevator shaft, grabs Josh, throws her down the elevator.
There's a small problem.
Yes.
I am immune to fire, but I will start absorbing it. Was I anywhere near the fire?
No, like the fire is now being held back by the air blowing puppy, and this puppy's going so fast that the explosion has not come to you guys as of yet.
Okay.
So she's grabbing you. She's grabbing, like, he's grabbing the bullet ends as well.
Of course.
Yeah, he probably like he probably got a device.
And the crocodile.
He probably got a device from Shadowhawk that he can carry like lots of weight, like a gliding transporter thingy, which he can push on the speed, but doesn't have to carry anything. He gets Miss Bashaw, he gets Josh, he gets the crocodile, he gets most of your important stuff all in this small time frame. The last moment he gets his, like, we see the fire just in front of the air puppy, coming like flash face, and he's like blowing his lungs out, and he just gets grabbed by the last one. They both jump down the elevator shaft. The fire goes down the elevator shaft, but when the fire guns down, the father turns into metal and shuts off the door where you guys came through. And at that point, like, everything explodes. But you're safe.
I'm so happy I bought these dogs.
I'll tell you right now, they're quite convenient.
But you're safely, like, in Shadowhawk's base with all of you, and it's like explosion being solved by Shadowhawk. Shadowhawk saved the day. Like, all the puppies like look up when that is mentioned. Like, oh, fuck you.
Just sort of in confusion, like, what? Really? No.
There's a
Shadowhawk
extensive
did train them to do this.
There's an extensive line of text, a long line of text of Whip bragging to Miss Michonne that summarizes up as not every purchase he makes is a bad idea.
Yeah, but most of the purchases were destroyed in that explosion.
Fuck! Except the crocodile.
Yeah, so the crocodiles, like, they get, like, much of your guys' equipment, so the magic items from Entropy's room. Some, like, all of Sting and the weapons. The weapons vault has not been saved, but it's probably have been shut off, like, safely. That was extra protected. Mostly from the inside to the outside, if something happened there. But it worked both ways. So you're in this room. Like, everybody's, like, confused, because one minute they were in a room, the next minute they were falling down a fucking elevator shaft. And then they're on top of each other, and there's all kinds of items coming down, and on this fucking fire, you hear the alarms going off. And, like, Pyre and Kenneth haven't never been inside Shadowhawk's place, which is currently more of the puppy's place.
Yeah. My character will first up check to make sure that none of the bloody bullet ants got out, and if any of them did, he'll immediately begin like, okay, everybody don't panic, but there are super deadly ants around the place. Are any of them out, do I think? Or do I think that? You don't have to be like, I count them or anything, but do I think that there's like any cracks in the thing or anything like that? 7
of them came out. I'm doing -1 since there was a chance of 0. 7 of them came out.
In that case, I quickly find them and either, yeah, I'll say,
Gideon helps you since he, even though they have not, like, real minds, he can scan them a bit.
I do mention that, like, make sure you're not bitten by them, because they are
like I can read your mind, you don't have to tell me. Okay, he just interrupts. He interrupts you.
I mean, whatever, that's fine. The dog can read the mind, sure, yeah. Anyway, but, yeah, sorry. I just the thought that my character would have had.
Like, at that point, Whip, like, there's some, like, maybe some, like, you can feel that most of the stuff has been destroyed and it's almost impossible to go back up. Like, you're basically currently, like, building. There's no, unless maybe there's some possible secret routes which were not shared by your friend Shadowhawk, but for your knowledge, your guys are completely building.
Well, you see, good old friend, that's what hacking is for.
Crack? Knuckle just cracks knuckles.
Just tell me what I need to roll.
Make a hacking
to get full access to his base.
I'll check for you with
knowing Jib, yep.
Well, you know, full access that he tried to, like, you know, you might get some, like, what you're searching for, but you won't get, like, complete access, but roll technology in this case.
Technology or hacking? Or
technology.
Both? Wait, do you have hacking? Oh, wait.
I specifically took expertise hacking.
Okay, then you can take hacking, of course.
Alright, I rolled a 12, 32.
32, so you did get access to, like, because of the alarm that went off, like, those most, like, he had some fucking impossible scenarios in there, like, thousands of them. Training
thousands
the puppies
of
for, like,
ants, you know.
real, like, different occasions. Like, this is actually, like, in case I am sent to another dimension, is, like, mentioned in this alarm. This was one of the things that should have happened. Like, when a nemesis comes in with a bomb, like, this is also one of the, like, there's, like, such weird things that happen, but are across with this level, which we actually
I'm just gonna say everything has happened. Just start checking everything off that has happened.
That was this alarm, right? I was like, this alarm would go off with a nemesis that was after him, who brought a bomb into the basement. He would get back to his original universe. Like such a story of, like, shit that should happen in case of this alarm. You get access to his vehicles. He gets 2 vehicles. One is a motorcycle who's currently down here. One was a car that's now destroyed because of the explosion. He does have another gate out of here. which might be still salvageable. Some of the explosion would have also head towards that tunnel, but it still might be salvageable. Yeah, and you know how to open it up. Like, you can just open the wall.
Right. Where are we? Like, are we still apart? We're like in a completely different area, correct?
Like, you're underneath like the normal base, which is Shadowheart's base. It was just lower.
Okay.
Like probably like 6-7 floors on the ground.
Right. I'm just gonna call an Uber driver.
Seriously, good.
Yeah, he can call an Uber driver. Just try.
I'm just gonna tell Miss Bouchard the general information. I'm just gonna mention at the end of it. I'm just gonna call an Uber driver for everyone.
I am unimpressed.
I would say Nana has already been gone because you would have made a teleporter or shit. Same for Slime. Those are they have left like in the morning. You had like a farewell. Like you could still see them like in a few weeks or a period. So it was like.
I can't wait for I can't wait for that guy to go back to his friends. Like, you don't want to mess with these guys. They're terrible. They did so many bad things. They would not shut up.
Yeah, like for your characters, there's some shock. Like it's not like, oh shit, we almost died. This has not synced in yet. Like you saw like little shit stuff of the explosion just against the dog, and the dog is like pretty much okay. All your stuff, like there's no okay, we were fine. Like that's probably settle in later. Like, oh my shit, we could have been blown up right here. Let's head towards Entropy. So Entropy, you're going down this tunnel. You get in the underneath base. Oh, by the way, the dog also saved the 2 other humans that you captured with the black stuff. They are also brought downstairs, still in chains, because they wouldn't leave them to die. But yeah, you're down there. Again, like all the shit is destructed, but like close to the explosion, there's much more open space because everything in the way. Like you notice that this was not like a normal explosive. That this was charged in some kind of way, a more powerful of kind of explosive.
Alright, so, like, my character will start probably with just, first up, probably pulling a fire extinguisher out of nowhere and beginning to extinguish some of the smaller fires if there's, you know, stuff like that, and looking for people in here, trying to find out where people are.
Yeah, well, you don't see any, like, living things. You see also, like, if you look in some of the rooms that's still left, like, some of your stuff is missing. Like if you go into like, well, Whip's room won't be because it's only servers. But if you look in Josh's room, some stuff would be missing. If you follow like, you know where the explosion happened because there's where is the most like damage, where's the like least of stuff. When you head there, you find it's actually being in the room where interrogation area. You have not. I don't think you've been here before. They kept the dogs here when Magus was here at first, like, but you weren't there. I think that session. But yeah, what you see in that room, like you just see is like a skeleton on the ground. Like there's no chair anymore. There's no cameras. There's no clothes. It's just a skeleton.
There's just a skeleton.
Yeah, it's just a skeleton.
In that case, my character will audibly say, God, I hope this isn't Miss Bouchard.
Like it's a male skeleton, but I don't know if. And Entropy's not good with humans, so I probably don't guess he would.
Yeah, again, I don't know what a human skeleton probably even look like. I know what it looks like, but I've never like seen one before, so I'm just like, God, I hope this isn't her.
Like if you look closer at the skeleton, still from a distance, you see some black slime going off it. There's some white in it as well, but mostly black and just slightly moving a bit.
These bloody disgusting creatures. Probably they attacked the place and blew us up. 3rd attack. Great.
He's heading
question.
He's going
question. Is there any sort of like camera or audio device or something?
There used to be.
I understand there used to be, but is there any remains of anything at all that's technological based?
Nope.
Even if it was a door.
Like, if there still was anything left, like it would basically be like magnetic radiation coming off this explosion as well, which would
Hold up a second.
Would have
I'll be right back.
disabled every
Sorry.
fucking thing.
Right.
I'll be right back, guys. Give me a second.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah?
What's Pyre doing, by the way? Is she just...
She's not really freaked out necessarily. She could have died in the explosion. She's more freaked out that she's more not really freaked out, but more relieved that the dogs were here and that she didn't touch any of the fire.
All right. Sorry, I'm gonna have to leave for about maybe like 5 minutes. Okay.
Oh well.
I mean, we're technically stopping soon,
yeah,
right?
let's stop it here then. Let's head for you seeing the slime for next time.
Okay.
Be very late.
Sorry, it's just people are needing my stuff.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. See you guys next week.
Okay.
All right.
Hope we get to do it next week. Talk to you guys later.
Hopefully we get more people.
Yeah, hopefully we get someone in.
Yes, will be no issue. We'll get there. Bye,
All right.
guys.
We'll get my cigarettes, damn it.
All right.